This is a bit of a deconstructed tutorial today, and it's mostly because I feel like the granny squares used, you can use any kind of granny square. And I'm just kind of showing you guys how to construct and put it together. So it's completely customizable on the colorway, on the granny squares themselves, whatever pattern, just as long as they are, roughly the same size, then you are good to go. You're going to need a total of 4 granny squares. And basically you're going to have, I'm going to use these as my accent ones because they have patterns on them and I want it to be the eye catcher. So they're each going to be like this, and then you're going to take this and fold it in half, okay? Like that, of what that's going to look like. Like that's going to be the bag. You're going to need 4 granny squares. You're going to need 2 clasps. It's optional, of course. You can always just sew the strap into the bag, but I just like the way these look, and honestly, they were just hanging around my house. So I'm using this color yarn to stitch everything together because it's just some extra that I have. And then I'm going to be using this to create the strap. I'm using a 3.5 millimeter hook today. It's very, very small, but it'll do the job. You want to start with everything inside out. It's always the smartest move. And you're going to take one of your corner squares and you're going to fold it in half like that, as best as you can. And then you don't have to do this, but it just helps me. I use stitch markers. You can also use bobby pins if you don't have stitch markers, but I'm going to just pin the sides of this one to help me to make sure that I stay on my game, if you will, because it's very easy to just get lost in the sauce, you know? So you only do one half, like one side. So I'm only doing the one. You leave the other one for the other side. So we're not going to worry about that right now. Make sure the outsides are facing out. People like to use tapestry needles. Sometimes people will single crochet together the 2 squares. I personally just like the look of a slip stitch, and the project isn't that large. The project isn't that large, so I'm just gonna run with it. So to slip stitch, I'm gonna yarn over and I'm gonna pull through both sides like this, and then you see I have it on my hook. To start it off, I'm gonna yarn over with both the end of the string and the continuation of it. Just it makes it more sturdy for me. But I'm gonna just pull through, chain 1, and then to slip stitch, you're going to go through the tops of, well, for me it's a single crochet around the whole enchilada. So you're just going to go to the top of each stitch, insert that hook through there, and then insert your hook into the top of the other stitch that aligns. You're going to yarn over, pull through, so now you have 2 loops on your hook, and then you're going to pull through again. So then you're going to go to the next stitch, go through the top, and then find the stitch that aligns with it and go through the top of that one. You're going to yarn over, pull through, and then pull through again. And you just continue doing this all the way down until you reach, for me, it's going to be my little red stitch marker. All right, and now I am at the end of that first of slip stitching these 2 together, and I'm going to insert my hook into that last stitch to the side right there. Yarn over, pull through, and then pull through again. And then I like to chain 2. So yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. And then I'm going to fasten off, meaning I'm just going to cut the yarn. Once you've done that, you're going to pull that all the way through and just tighten it till it's sturdy. I'll come over here and I like to create a little knot of my own as well on this side. You don't have to, but I just think it's a smarter choice. I don't want it to come undone. So you yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through. Just like that. I also tend to like beat up my bags unintentionally, so I just would prefer it to be sturdy. And then I'm going to weave in the ends here on this side. And that's completely however you see fit, the stitches you want to hide it in. So, okay, so there we go. That's what it looks like when it's all attached. Super nice. You can kind of see the light, faint green stitch line, but it's very tasteful, in my opinion. Very tasteful. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do the other green granny square. And we're going to connect it to this side. So much like before, fold it in half. I just do this because it helps me conceptualize it a little bit better. And I can see, because I mean, granny squares, they aren't perfect. Like there's always tension, different kinds of tension involved. So I like to see which side is going to fit best, if that makes sense. So I like these two matching up together. So I'm going to attach my stitch marker here. And I'm going to do the same thing that I did last time. So I'm going to go on the corner, insert my hook into both sides, hold my yarn like that, and pull through. It's going to be one loop on the hook. Then I'm going to yarn over with both the end of it and the continuation and pull through to chain one, just to secure it a little bit more. All right, and then same as before, you're going to go into the top stitch of every single stitch, do a slip stitch. So yarn over, pull through those stitches. You're going to have 2 loops on that hook, pull through again, and continue doing that all the way until you reach the end. All right, I'm getting to the end of that row where I'm slip stitching everything. And this is my last one. I'm going to yarn over, chain 1, yarn over, chain 2, cut my yarn, pull that through. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to do a little knot on this end and weave in my ends. Okay, and now as you can see, we've got the three squares all sewn together. It's time for the last one. So to do that, I'm going to flip it over like this. This is the right side, but we're going to sew everything inside out first. So you want to have the right side facing you, but you're going to take the corner over here and fold up. Okay? And then take the corner over here and fold up. Now this is really where the stitch markers are going to come in handy, because you're going to place your last square. The right side is going to be facing down. So you're going to be looking at the uglier side of your granny square, if you will. So this is where they want to have it that way. But this is where you're going to add all of your stitch markers to help you, but just for the conceptualization purpose. But I'm going to start on this side, so I'm going to make sure everything over on this side is secure. And like I said earlier, if you don't have stitch markers, use bobby pins. I used to use bobby pins. I've honestly, up until recently, was using bobby pins. Honestly, I think I got these on Shein or something. It was very surprising. And I don't normally like shop a bunch on there. but I was curious, so found some stitch markers. And I'm also going to do this side because I start from here and I go that way. So I'm going to do the end of it just to make sure I stay in line. Also, too, to keep in mind, I am going to be sewing from here to here, then here underneath to here, and then here to here. And then it should be completely sewn together by the time I finish that. And I kind of just pinch it a little bit. It's going to look messy underneath of here. Don't mind that. Just look at the top. And same as every other square thus far. You're just going to do that initial chain 1 to secure it. And then you can get into your slip stitching as before. And I can meet you back at the end where we're rounding the corner. Okay, so I'm getting near the end of this first initial side. And I just want to draw attention to the way that this looks. So it's going to come together right here. So whenever we finish this row, we're also going to make sure it joins to right here. So I'm going to move my stitch marker out of the way because I now know I've stayed consistent with the stitch line up. So now that I am at the end of this, I am just going to chain 1 to secure that. Helps to turn and make sure that everything stays put. And then you're just going to turn it to that other side. This is going to pinch in. Don't mind it. Just make sure you're staying on the top 2 like that. And same thing as before. Go to the top of each square. Yarn over and pull through. And you keep doing that all the way around. And I will meet you at the end of that square to finish up the last one. All right, I am getting to the end of that. I'm going to take my stitch marker out. And similar to the last patch point right here, it's going to do the same thing. So finish out, chain 1 right here at the intersection, if you will, and then we're going to finish out on that last part. So I chained 1, and then I'm going to start slip stitching into the next part on the side. All right, and then I'm at the end, and I'm going to do the same thing. Yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through again, fasten off. So you want to do those 2 chains right here. And then you're going to do the knot on this side as well if you were doing that prior. And then you're going to thread in these ends right here and here. Now we're at the end of the bag construction. So you're going to flip that inside out, or right side out, I guess now. And there's your little pouch. Super cute. It's lined all nice. And at this point, what a lot of people like to do is add like just a row of single crochets like all the way around to help kind of bring it all together, which I'm going to do, and then I will meet you back to show you how to do the strap. At this point, I realized that my footage. So now that we have finished the bag, we are going, the bag portion of it, we're going to do the straps. So I'm going to link below the video that I watched that taught me how to do the strap. I am ever so sorry. I got lost in the sauce with my crochet and didn't look at the viewfinder on my camera, so I apologize. Thank you guys so much for watching the tutorial today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see more tutorials or idea videos, hit that subscribe button. Other than that, I'll see you next time.